Hi, I'm Jamela Kosa, and today I'll be showing you how to make a teaching aid for a grade 1 maths lesson on symmetry. Let me show you what you will need for this lesson. You will need a ruler, a pencil, a pair of scissors, some cardboard. You could use ponal glue, wood glue, depending on what material you'll be sticking. You need a glue stick, again, depending on what material you'll be using, but I'll explain that as we go on. You can collect some different materials. So this is an orange netting. This is a fruit foam that I have used. Okay, so these are just two examples of what you can use. And now I'm going to move them out of the picture to show you the different pieces. Okay, so the ruler is for measuring the pieces that you want. You might prefer to work on squares. I prefer to work with rectangles. Now, for me, what worked was I didn't measure all 8 pieces out. I measured one piece, and then I traced this one piece on the cardboard to duplicate the number of pieces that I needed. Let's have a look at the pieces. Right, if you look at this piece here on the left-hand side, I have folded it in the middle just to make it easier for me to know where to cut each piece. But that also becomes your line of symmetry. What is symmetry? Symmetry is when an object looks the same on the left-hand side and on the right-hand side. So when you look at this bubble wrap here, on face value, it looks symmetrical, but if you come in closer, you will notice that on this side, the piece is actually slightly bigger than on the other side. Okay, then we look at the cardboard piece that I've placed. These are just 2 different pieces of cardboard. This is a square shape that is symmetrical. This is your fruit foam, which is a circle that is symmetrical. We look at your orange netting that is not symmetrical. You can see the ends are not exactly aligned, or they're not even the same length. Okay, and you can see a bit of frizz there. You can also have a look at the material. That would be symmetrical. That would be asymmetrical. You can see on this side, on the right-hand side, that the feather is broader on this area than on the left-hand side. If you look at this piece of paper and you look at the semicircle, it is symmetrical. Now, the piece of leather is quite nice. I enjoy working with objects like this because it will give you what looks symmetrical but or asymmetrical in one point of view. So we can discuss that. Because I cut my line of symmetry going this way, it does not look symmetrical. Others might argue that it is symmetrical, but if I look at how I've cut the edges of my leather, it's not quite symmetrical. Also, others might argue that maybe if I had a line of symmetry going this way, it would also show that it is not quite symmetrical. Okay. One other aspect to consider with my pieces is that I use different materials just to add in an extra element of tactile experience. If you prefer, you could just work with pieces of paper. You could use foam, you could use leather, whatever you have access to. Okay. The other area that you can also look at, if you're not working with pieces of cardboard, is you can look at your body. Now, my body looks symmetrical. If I look at my face, I have an ear on the right-hand side, I have an ear on the left-hand side. I have an eye on the right-hand side, I have an eye on the left-hand side. But if I have a closer look at my face, you will notice that my face is asymmetrical because I've got a beauty spot on the right-hand side, but I do not have one on the left-hand side. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about symmetry and how to make a learning tool for symmetry. Thank you.